Hello comrades, Kami-sa Brohi today with Romance of the Three Kingdoms 13. It's been a few weeks since we've done a brand new title, and even then technically this game's not a brand new title. It has been out in Japan and China for a while now, but the English patch recently came out a few days ago, and being a huge fan of the Three Kingdoms period of China, and not only that, but being a huge fan of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms games, and a lot of Koei's games in regards to Dynasty Warriors, and like I said, just the Three Kingdoms period in general, and even the Sengoku Jidai period, where they do like Nobunaga's Ambition, Sphere of Influence, so on and so forth. Needless to say, I'm a fan of these kinds of games, and I think they meet a nice kind of mixture of RPG and grand strategy in a way that game like Paradox doesn't quite touch on. Not that, you know, their games like Crusader Kings and whatnot aren't fucking phenomenal. So, I picked this game up. It was very expensive, $50. Then again, it is kind of brand new, so I mean, I guess that's justifiable. Normally, I don't pay that much for these types of games, though. So, you can tell I really wanted this one. And I played for about, I don't know, 5 hours or so last night, and I gotta say, I had an absolute ball making my own leader and just kicking ass and taking names, baby girl. Let me tell you, it's been really cool. And I'm actually going to basically find the save, like a save of a battle. I'm going to show you what battles look like, and I'm also going to show you what the management style of the game looks like. So, without further ado, let's take a look. Alright, so here we are on the actual campaign map. And as you can see, this is my city of Yuutsui, led by Ranbai Rui. Commander I made myself, that's right. I might need to turn this music down, it's kind of loud. Alright, that's a bit better. I can focus. Keep in mind, the music in this game, I really like it. I actually wish there were more tracks. But they're really kind of got this like Star Wars thing going on to it, but at the same time, you know, kind of like epic orchestral Chinese kind of thing. It's great. I love it. I dig it. I dig it. It's epic. So anyway, as we can see, the city of Yuutsui is currently surrounded by over 60,000 men. That's right. Led by the great Liu Yuan. Technically led by Zhang Ren, but more specifically, it is from Liu Yan. I wonder if I can change. There we go. Force map. To give you guys an idea of what it looks like, these 4 red cities have all been united by Ranbai Rui. Yes, so they're mine. The number next to the city name shows how many troops occupy that particular city. In this case, our greatest concentration of troops is here in Yuutsui. Now, because we're being sieged, and at the time when I was doing this particular, because this is far back from my playthrough last night, I had no earthly idea on how to effectively deploy against an enemy force, but now I do. And I already know how this battle ends, but it's a pretty damn close battle that we're going to play out once more, because it's really, really cool. Before I get into the battle, because the battle will take a little bit of time, we're going to show a couple of things about the game. And this is probably one of the most important things I'll go ahead and mention now. This essentially is the character chart tree. This shows your relationship with various officers. As you can see, because I'm a created officer, I don't really have connections with all that many people. Most of the people I'm connected to are characters I created myself, like Bai Chao and Huatsui and Yu Xiang and so on and so forth. But if we look at actual historical figures, such as Liu Yan, we can see that he has quite a few officers who at least are acquainted with him and that work with him that he knows. And then you have individuals like Liu Bei, who are associated, sworn brothers, as it were, with Guan Yu and Zhang Fei. Again, if you don't really know anything about the Three Kingdoms period, this is probably going right past you, but trust me, this is really cool. The fact that you actually have all these officers, and you can have all their names, and you build relationships with them, you build up a rapport with them, by talking to them and visiting them, giving them gifts and so on, and it makes them more loyal and whatnot. And it's also how you recruit these officers and so on and so forth. So, before we deploy our army, let's take a look at the actual city mechanics of a game. So all this smoke and whatnot is because they're, quote, sieging my city. Alright, so we're actually going to go inside of the city. As a ruler, you don't actually have the same abilities as someone who's not a ruler. Basically, if you're just an officer, the game is more of an RPG where you command your own unit, but you work under somebody. You work under a ruler who gives you missions that you must complete, and you build up your relationships. Now, you can start out as an officer and become a commander, a leader of your force, should you become the heir and your leader die or whatnot whatsoever and all that good stuff. So example of missions that can be given. Commerce, to improve how much money you make. Farming, how much food and supplies you make for your soldiers. Culture, which I don't actually know what culture does, but you know what, it's pretty cool. I think it has like passive bonuses or something. I really don't know, to be honest. I haven't figured that out. I tend to not pay any attention to culture because I'm so busy kicking ass on the military front. So then you got military, where you train the proficiency of 3 different types, being spear, horse, and bow. Spear is kind of like your basic melee unit. Bow, obviously, is your ranged. It does a little bit less damage, but you can shoot people from a distance. So basically, if you have a spear engaging in the front, you can have a bow in the rear firing on enemy troops in front of it. And horse, obviously, would be your cavalry. As you can see, I tend to put a higher proficiency in both bows and spear proficiency. I think it's a pretty strong setup for my troops. Now, if we go down to personnel, it can show various generals that we can hire, like Wu Lan, Lei Tong, Zhang Song. The only one here we'll probably actually be able to get if we tried would be Wu Lan, but first we're going to fight this battle before we try to hire anyone at all. You've got other things you could do. Cajole, placate cities. Cajole is basically trying to convince an officer to betray his lord and join you. You deal with foreign, like dignitaries in this case. You send out goodwill missions to other forces in the realm to build up alliances or to get ceasefires and so on. What I ended up doing later on in the game, because I fought so many apocalyptic battles with Liu Yan, is I actually got a ceasefire with him and started an alliance with him so that we could work together in the southeastern or southwestern part of China rather than fighting each other in such a brutal fashion. So you can also do these missions. Like I said, you give these missions and orders to your officers, and you have ministers, like an economy minister that you assign, like as you can see here, like assigned minister. You've got a war minister, a domestic minister, and a military minister, which I don't currently have a military minister, but we're going to make Bai Chao our military minister for now. And as you can see, we have our 3. This lets you do more actions with your generals, or basically these missions here. If you don't have any ministers, you can only give orders, 2 orders at a time, essentially. So like in this case, if I want to train military, I want to make more spears, a higher proficiency, we're going to hit a work goal of 100. And then I could give that mission to myself, or I could give it to one of my officers. I could ask one of my officers to assist me if I want to, but I'm not going to actually do that at the moment. One other thing I'll mention is the way that you grow the size of your army is through fealty. The higher your fealty or loyalty, the more troops flock to your banner. Essentially, basically it's just showing that the more loyal troops are to you, the more willing they are to fight for you. And that means basically this number will grow higher and higher. Now, that number already grows pretty fast at a lower fealty, but it'll cap out at like 15,000 if your fealty is really low. As you can see with some of my other cities, like this one over here, Shanghai, which has kind of a low fealty, and it doesn't have very high proficiency in anything. So, that's kind of the economic side of things. Let's take a look at the battle. That's really where the game, if you ask me, is a total blast, because you can take armies and you can dominate your opponents if you are a successful, strong general. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to set up our army. We do it by first setting a goal. We set the goal to protect Yuetsui. And now we're going to form a bunch of troops. We can do this manually, as you see here. We're going to say Ranbai Rui is going to lead his own force. It's going to be a spear force of 13,000. Yeah, bam. Now, we could add additional officers, which would improve his attack and defense, or we could use those officers to create more troops. Each general has a certain amount of troops that they can command at one time. So what we're going to do is we're going to even it out, and we're going to have 3 generals. Well, I don't know about that. Can we give somebody else to Ranbai Rui? I would prefer him to do more damage. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. No reason not to give ourselves the best possible chance we can get, right? We still have 5,000 troops, so we can let Bai Chao lead that particular force. And we're going to... I'm kind of more of a spearman kind of guy. Like, I like to make my whole force either spearmen or... yeah, spearmen or archer or horses, pretty much, because I find them to be so incredibly effective in bringing down your opponent. So Yu Qiang will lead our cavalry, and the rest will all be spear units. And let's max troop. There we go. So we've got it evenly distributed between our 4 generals here. Beautiful. Looks great. Look at that attack power. That's going to be phenomenal later on. Now you can also give your troops boats and weapons and so on. But because we're defending, we don't need to give ourselves anything. One other thing I'll mention is that commanders have different abilities to fight. And actually what we're going to do is we're going to take Mu Yi out of this, and we're going to put him in command of Bai Chao. Like he's going to work with... Actually, yeah, no. Do I want her to do it? I might want her to do it. I don't know who I want to do it. I'm torn. I'm absolutely torn. So we're going to take him and replace Huatsui with Mu Yi. Oh, but that brings down the attack considerably. Alright, so we'll take Huatsui and we'll combine her. Like, it'll be these two, Bai Chao and Huatsui. Oh, but his attack is really low if we take him out. See, this is what you got to do. You got to sit here and maximize your ability. Who's the most effective? Who's going to be the best for the job? In this case, Mu Yui is not the greatest commander, but his impeccable strength is kind of an important ability. But you know what? I think we're gonna bench him. We're gonna make the main commander here Huatsui, and we're gonna make Mu Yui the second in command here. Yeah, and we're just gonna have to make that work, or not. Apparently, it's not gonna work between them. Huatsui. I can make this work. I'm a smart kid. I'm a smart kid, right? We're actually gonna give him back. Let's just give him back to Ranbai Yuri, who makes him way more effective. Bai Chao. Alright, so yeah, there we go. We're good to go. We're ready to fight. Our units are pretty much maximized, and we've got this. I have faith in us. So we're going to deploy our army. We're going to cancel their missions. And Ranbai Rui, with only 35,780 men, is going to battle against Zhang Ren. Now, if we're going to win this battle, I don't know. There's a very, very solid chance that we'll lose this. But you know what? I'm going to try. I've never been one to give up. Now am I? Or have I? Am I? Shall I? Ooh. Where is Zhang Ren? Alright, so Zhang Ren is right here. This is the enemy commander. We know this because we look up here, and he's the supreme commander of the enemy forces. And look, there's where the wind's blowing. If we look, it's blowing that way. Wind is going to affect things like flames. If you try to start flame attacks on your opponents, it'll do shit like that. It's totally brutal, just so you know. So we're going to put Jigan on the wall. He's going to fire upon the enemy forces from the wall. We're going to bring everyone else out straight from the front gate, and we're going to do work, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's right. Alright, so we're going to press play. Our units are moving. Units are commanded and moved in that fashion. It's pretty simple stuff. And look, our catapults firing down on the enemy forces. Our ballistae are as well, but our base to the far right is taking heavy, heavy attack. Now, we could get a huge morale boost, because basically what you'll get at the bottom left is these missions. In this case, if we commit a pincer attack upon Lu Kui, we win, essentially we're going to get a huge morale boost. But I think instead that we're going to circumvent that order, and we're going to ignore that order, and we're going to go for Zhang Ren, since he's all out alone. If we kill the Supreme Commander, that's going to be a huge blow to the enemy forces. And that is more important to me than some pesky little 2-bit general. This nobody. Uh-oh. It's not good. There. Engage, 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 engage. Hit him, hit him, hit him, hit him. There we go. So, like... Okay, well that didn't go as well as I wanted it to. What is this? Lowers enemy attack, defensive mobility, greatly lowers morale, and seals their strikes. So, again, you get special abilities, and what we're going to do with her is we're going to seal her down. We're going to attack this guy. We can't quite catch Zhang Ren, so he's got us there. Oh, kill that siege ladder, kill that siege ladder. Come on, come on. Boom. Open fire, open fire. And see, we're bringing rain, we're raining hellfire upon them from the wall. That's right. That base is going to go down, but we're doing what we can. Oh shit, that's not good. We got to bring Bai Chao all the way around. Not good, sir. So we're going to lock this. We're going to lock all of these people down. Yeah, use our special ability. And because that would be my wife, she gets a major bonus. That really affects their morale. And it looks like this unit is going straight to hell. As we can see, his morale to the top right, it is completely gone. You can also tell by the bar that it's completely gone, and his troops are retreating en masse. They cannot handle this fucking ass whooping we are bringing to them right now. Now, Zhang Ren managed to retreat all the way back to the base. So it seems to me like the best way to continue onward here is to draw out these enemy troops, bring them back towards our base, and try to engage right here. We should move Ji Gan. He's getting messed up by the enemy forces. We don't want to get surrounded, so... Oh, we didn't actually kill that guy yet. Huh, lucky fucker. Look at him. He's still got 17 men left. That's alright. We'll get him. We'll get him. And we're still hitting them with a little bit of something, something. Now, we can do a Grand Flame, but this is a very risky maneuver. But for the sake of this video, I'll show you it. It's going to be pretty good or pretty bad. It's all dependent on the way the wind's blowing. Considering the wind's blowing to the right, it should work in our favor. But as you can see, it has caught this field on fire, and these troops are now basically fighting through flame, attempting to get to... you know, our men. We need to engage with Bai Chao behind Hui. Uh-oh, that's not good. Attack! 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 Kill those 17 men! I need that... There we go. I need that morale. Uh-oh. They're, like, focusing fire on our commander. We need to pull him back and get some of this hitting off of us. They're putting way too much... Oh, actually, you know what? We could attack right there, and that would be a pincer attack on Huang Gong. Yeah, there we go. So he just lost -10 morale. So the game is very heavy on movement and whatnot in terms of how these battles work, and I fucking love it. I really like how smooth this is. You can just engage and disengage. It leads to some seriously intense battles where even smaller armies can overcome huge armies. Because look, I mean, we started with 35,000 men. We've got 3,000. We've lost 3,000, but we've killed almost 17,000 men. I mean, we are wrecking the collective face of these forces, and it's going great. Like, seriously, this is awesome. I love this game. This is a total blast. Like, I don't know if you can tell the fact that I have not shut up since I started doing this video, that I am having an absolute blast playing it. And you can even watch duels and play and engage in duels. We're going to watch this particular duel between Yu Qiang and Yan Yan. If you know anything about Yan Yan, he was known to be a very strong fighter. And Yu Qiang is one of my original officers I've created. And I'm more than positive he's capable of taking on Yan Yan. I hope, anyway. He might not be able to. Ooh, that's not good. It's a rough start, Yu Qiang. You better win, boy. You better win. I expect you to win. But some other stuff you can expect to see in this game. Some other stuff you can expect to see in this game as well is like debates and stuff like that. And you probably have no idea what's going on right now, but basically they're like charging up, using defense. He just used his power, like a powerful attack called Knockout, which just took a lot of Yan Yan's health out. Oh, but Yan Yan is about to do his own knockout. And, oh my god, that fucking hurts. Come on, Yu Qiang! And it looks like our General Yu Qiang was defeated. I shouldn't have watched it. I should have let it be auto-resolved. I would have won that. But anyway, so, you know, it can go either which way in a duel, but Yu Qiang was not captured. So that's the important part here, is that he was not captured. So he is still alive, and that's what I care about. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If this is a game you think you would be interested in, I highly suggest you check it out. I have had a blast, and I've only put in about 5 hours or so in the game, but honestly, I fucking love it already, and I cannot wait to put more time into it. So, and especially check out some of the other DLCs, and hopefully they're English. I don't know if they are or not. So yeah, I wish the bodies would stay. That's one thing I wish, because you notice the bodies don't stay. But anyway, this has been CB. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.